Alright, what is up? Let's see if we can get this. Alright. Okay, let's unhost. You guys see me okay? I don't think anybody's actually watching right now. But alright, so yeah, name's Tommy. We're gonna be making some wings, and we may be doing some shrimp. But first, I want to give you a little tip. We got our cutting board. We have all of our ingredients. One of the things you want to do is you want to get a napkin. You want to wet it. That way you can place it underneath your cutting board, and that way it doesn't move. And so it's kind of one of those neat little chef tricks. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So essentially we're going to do that. Very, very nice. Doesn't move. Very stable. Next, you want to make sure that you've got a sharp knife. So we're going to get our knife out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and this is what's called a steel. And so you want to take your knife at about a 20 to 25 degree angle, and you just want to kind of go back and forth. Just like this. So this doesn't actually sharpen the knife. What it does is it ends up honing it. So it takes, every time you cut something, the blade gets jagged. And so it's kind of a magnetic a little bit. And so what it does is it straightens out the blade. And so it'll just kind of put the edge back on. So you just kind of go like this really quick. Very, very simple. Nothing too complicated. It's just going to make my knife a little bit sharper. That back. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients. Now what we're going to do is I have Buffalo Wing McCormick seasoning. This stuff is legit. Like, you just can't even, I don't know. So I've been making wings for a really long time. And just the combination of salt, pepper, garlic, blah, blah, blah. It does good, but at the same time, you just need something a little extra. And so this stuff, hell, let's see what's in it. Sugar, salt, modified cornstarch, blah, 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 red pepper, wheat, gluten. So if you're gluten-free, I'm sorry. Don't buy this. But I like it. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to dust that in there. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to hit it with some black pepper. So I'm doing a fair amount of wings. This is 1 pack, and it's about 2 pounds. So I'm just going to add about, about a teaspoon or 2 of black pepper. And so that's going to be about half a palmful size. You can measure. I've been doing this a long time, so I kind of have measurements down. It's really creepy. I'll do it, and I won't measure it, and I'll put it in there. And then my wife will take it out and she'll measure it, and it's the exact measurement, and she thinks I'm some sort of like witch. It's weird. So then we're going to go with about the same amount of salt. A little extra just for kicks. Alright. That's down. And then not crushed chili flake, or just, actually it's not even crushed chili flake, it's just regular chili flake. I like a good amount of spice on my wings, so this one I'll probably do about a tablespoon, just because what ends up happening is because they're so sparse and coarse that you end up getting it distributes a little bit more evenly when you add more, rather than like with a dried crushed seasoning will coat the wing. This doesn't always coat it, so you want to make sure that you're getting a good amount. So bada bing bada boom, this recipe in the room. How you doing? All right, so then this is kind of one of those secret ingredients, cornstarch. Cornstarch, when added to things that you fry or bake, will give it a little bit of a crisp. Normally, when you're doing fish and you've got like a nice crispy fish, or even French fries, some places, I want to say like Hardee's or Carl's Jr., I think maybe even what's it called? Burger King, I think they used to, where it's just kind of got an edge on it and it's got this extra crunch. It's because the fries have been coated in cornstarch. So you don't need a whole lot. So I did about two teaspoons. Very, very simple. Next, this is a secret ingredient. So this is H-E-B's original pancake mix. This stuff is bomb.com. So essentially, I want to add about a cup and a half of this stuff. This is the magic right here. This is the magic. So, add a cup and a half. Just like that. Very, very simple. A little LeBron James action right there. And then we're going to put it back. Alright. So dry ingredients are done. So once you're done with your dry ingredients, make sure that you put everything up. Clean as you go. It makes things so much more simple. And then you're not having to clean later, of course, but at the same time, you're not having to, it doesn't get congested. And so when your kitchen's congested, you end up having, it stresses you out, or it stresses me out. So clean as you go, it just makes life simple. All right, so you're gonna take a quick whisk, and you're just gonna combine all these ingredients. Very, very simple. Don't have to go in any particular motion. You don't have to do like a figure 8 or any of that other bullshit. You just kind of want to get everything incorporated. All right, set that aside. Get rid of our whisk. All right, now I'm going to continue to drink because beers are always fun. If you're not drinking, well, I'm sorry. So we've got Michelob Ultra Infusions, prickly pear and lime. Tastes like Sprite. Bottoms up, yo. Okay, so now we have our wings. Now we're gonna prep them. I use gloves when I'm just kind of dealing with this stuff. It just makes life less nasty. Nasty? You don't want to get a little bit of ew on your hands. Chicken is the easiest thing to cross-contaminate. You'll get salmonella from it. So just kind of protect yourself, protect your area. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, bing, bing, we're just gonna do a quick cut. We're going to take our wings out. So what I like to do is I'm going to split them. So I break them first. Break. Just do a quick break on all of them. You're going to break them right at the joint of the wing and the drumette. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to cut them and split them. And they fry up and bake easier. So we'll just do a quick cut or a quick break. These are about 10 to 12 wings. It's like $8. Nothing too intense. Let's do a quick blah, blah, blah. All right. We're going to get rid of our nasty-ass chicken thingy. And then I'm going to change one glove real quick. Just because I don't want chicken mess all up on my knife. It sounds complicated. I've been cooking for years, so changing gloves is just kind of one of those normal things. But for an average person, honestly, as long as you just wash your hands real good and wash your knife, hot soap and water, you'll be fine. But yeah, so you're going to take, let's get these separate real quick. That way it's all organized. It's very simple. Yeah, I've been saying that word a lot, simple. I'd say it's simple, but you got to make it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think, hey, I'm going to ruin it. Just have fun with it. You know, if you break it, you make more. I mean, if you burn it, just make some more. Try it again. So essentially with a chicken cut, there is a split in the bone between the wingette and the drumette. So you're going to just take your knife and you're going to find that split and just, boom, really quick slice, just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those. We're going to lay them flat out on our cookie sheet. The cookie sheet has been lined with parchment paper. It is a really good friend of mine when I'm baking. It just doesn't stick. And so with aluminum foil, now you think, oh, aluminum foil, I'm going to use that. It doesn't stick. No, it does. And then it gets really greasy, and it's not that fun. So here, boom, quick slice, like that. Just like that. Flip it over, turn it around. Once you get kind of the motion going, it's a really quick process. So bada bing, bada boom. Couple of chicken wings, done. Just like, I keep throwing them around. All right, cool. Set your knife aside, we don't really need it anymore. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our wings and we're gonna just kind of lay them out flat, skin side up. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because you have, it's because of the moisture on the skin. Everything is wet, and when you add moisture to flour or heat, it expands and gets sticky. So the flour just gets clumpy and it kind of gets everywhere. It doesn't coat it really evenly. And then when you're putting them in the oven and you're baking them, majority of the reason why the skin on chicken doesn't get crispy and they get really soft and soggy when you're baking them is because the skin isn't dry. So you want to make sure that you're drying out the skin. So a really good thing to do is just take a napkin, just take a good paper towel, take it, cut it in, fold it in half, and just pat them dry. This definitely helps. What you can also do is if you want to do this ahead of time, pat them dry, dust them with a little bit of baking powder. And like I'm talking a little bit, like a teaspoon, a quarter of a teaspoon. Just toss them in it. And then put them in the fridge. Let them chill for like an hour or so. And then it makes a world of difference. You can bake these suckers at about 425, 450, and they'll come out so similar to if you were to just quick fry them. And so by doing this, I'm just drying out the skin. It's going to make sure that everything has a better coating. All right. Really, 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 really simple. If anybody's watching, please, chat. It'd be great to talk to you. Ask and answer any questions you got. If not, then we're just going to have some fun, and you can watch it later. All right. Skin's done. Okay, let's get rid of our napkins. So while all of this is going on, you want to make sure that you either A, preheat your oven, or B, preheat your oil. You want your oil to about 365, and you want your oven to about 425. You can start your wings in the oil and then finish them in the oven. That's a very quick and easy thing to do because then you can raise the temperature of your oil to 375 and then just do a quick flash fry on them. Set them aside, let them dry, finish them in the oven. It'll be a little bit of it's an easier cook. And then you're not having to spend so much time in the oil because what happens in the oil is it steams. And so if your temperature is wrong, what ends up happening is the food just ends up getting saturated in the oil, or it takes forever to cook, or it ends up being, or you end up burning it because it takes forever to cook and then it ends up in there so long, which is why usually when you've got fried chicken, it ends up being, it darkens really, really fast because if that oil's too hot, well, it crisps on the outside, but then you still got to cook. So if you just do a quick, you can do a simple transition, just 2 minutes in there, get nice and golden, and you can transfer them to a sheet tray, throw them right in the oven for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Very simple. Or if your oil temperature is just right, you can just leave them in there for about 10 to 14 minutes. It really just depends on the size of the wing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our wings and we're just going to toss them in our flour mixture. What you can do is you can do this 2 ways. So I'm just going to do a quick and simple wing. I'm going to take them and I'm just going to throw them in the flour and then I'm going to put them right back on the cookie sheet and we're going to fry some and we're going to bake some. But if I was going to do this, if I had the time and, I wasn't being, kind of lazy, then I would take them, I would coat them in flour and a little bit of cornstarch. What I'm also doing right now is I'm flipping over my parchment. Now my parchment paper is not wet. And, it's just, use what you got. So we're going to take it and we're going to toss them. But like I was saying, I would toss them in literally just a little bit of straight flour, touch of salt and black pepper, and then finish them, let them dry out, and then throw them in a little egg wash with some sriracha, and then finish them in the flour mixture. It's just kind of a quick double breading. A simple breading station is your flour, egg, and then usually it's a breadcrumb. But with chicken wings, you don't have to do that. So essentially, very, very simple. All we've done is it's just a light breading. There's some chili flake in there somewhere. But yeah, so you're going to take it, try to get some of the dust off, organize them nice and neat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bake the wingettes and I'm going to fry the drumettes. Just so we can get kind of a good visual of what that looks like. So just do a quick light dusting. Essentially, by doing this, you're not going to fill both your oven and your fryer full of flour. Because what ends up happening is that stuff will burn after, a good amount of time, especially if your temperatures are off, and your temperature is going to be off because your wings are cold. When they're cold and you add them to something hot, what ends up happening? Temperature drops. Very, very simple. Holy crap, this should be a drinking game. I swear I've said simple at least 15 times. It's like Trump and the word huge, or, Joe Biden forgetting shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to go political. But anyways, so, yeah, take a shot for every time I've said simple. Just do it for me. Just do it for me. Okay, Now, we have our flour mixture. And because our chicken wings weren't soaking wet, what ends up happening is our flour is now super still crumbly. If you end up getting a bunch of chunks because it was wet, like if you do an egg wash, take it and just run the flour through a sifter, a colander, anything that will just kind of break up the flour. Now we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, so my oil over here is set to 3. Where am I at? Or is it higher? Oh shit, we're at 495. We do not want to be that high. So we're going to we're going to actually take it off the heat. Leave the thermometer in there and bring it down. When working with an electric stove, it just kind of, getting the right temperature is a little bit tricky. Personally, I prefer working with gas. I don't have that here in my neighborhood. So what we're going to do is we'll just take and we'll set these wings aside. Very quick. Sorry for the cabinet. A little bit of tongs. And we'll set these aside, and then we're going to throw the wingettes in the oven. That way they can cook while we prep our shrimp and while the temperature of the oil comes down. We'll set that in there. Leave it alone. Don't worry about it. All right. A little bit of napkin. We're going to wipe. Station down. More drinkage. I mean, it's fuel. And it tastes like Sprite. So, I mean, come on. Okay. So now I have shrimp that has been thawing out. So I'm going to drain it really quickly. And then we're going to peel it. And then we're going to devein it. So it's a process known as just cleaning. Then we're going to just grab our gloves. We're going to knock this out super quickly. So you want to make sure you've got a paring knife. Watching the temperature on this, it's still at 430. I don't know, maybe my thermometer's wrong, but that's fine. It gives us time to work on this shrimp. So we're going to throw our gloves on. These are 2130s, I think? No, they're 1620s. So that means you've got 16 to 20 units of shrimp per pound of shrimp. So it's a good size, and they're a pink Gulf shrimp. So you just take it, kind of twist the end, and then the shell will come right off. Now you can have like a bag set up for these guys where you can throw the shells in, keep them, freeze them. You can throw them in to make a fish stock. So if you want to do like a bisque or something, it's really good to have seafood shells on hand. Just throw those suckers in water and then let them steam or let it boil with your vegetables. A little bit of, not bell pepper, but carrot, celery, onion, your basic mirepoix. Real simple. Motherfucker. I swear I should be taking shots for every time I say that damn word. That's going to be the new title of my stream, is it's just simple. How many times does he say that word? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. We're just going to knock these shrimp out. Peeling shrimp, man, it's just kind of one of those things when you're in culinary school or you're first getting in the restaurant. One of the things that they end up putting you to work, and it's like chopping lettuce. You'll peel thousands of pounds of shrimp or thousands of pounds of potatoes before you ever even touch a stove. And so it's really kind of humbling coming out of culinary school and you think you're some hot shit and you deserve to be paid big bucks because you're, from culinary school. You're better than those IHOP cooks. Nah, screw that, dude. You don't even know how to chop lettuce. So here, the shrimp, and then I've deveined and I've cleaned a fair amount of shrimp in my day, and so it still gets me to where it's not always perfect. But neither here nor there. So I like this Gulf shrimp. It's got a lot of good flavor to it. If it was me and it was on sale, I would have gone with the red Argentine. It's a pink shrimp, and it's got amazing flavor. To me, it's more of a Langenstein style shrimp. So what that means is essentially that it has a lobster-like texture and flavor. And so it ends up being a little bit more buttery. It's perfect for bisques. It's perfect for frying. It's a higher quality, really good shrimp. You can get it at your local grocery store. If you're in Texas, H-E-B. It's going to hook you up with about... actually, I don't know why I'm doing this. Clean this out. Why am I stationed down? Or you can just go for your local seafood market. Ask them. They can see if they can get them in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to devein it. It's called cleaning. You're going to take your paring knife, and you're going to go right across the edge. Just like that. You're going to split it. And you're just going to pull the vein out. A lot of times people think this is just the digestive. It's not, a shit line. It's not poop. It's a vein that they use. So here we go. I get this cleaned out. Everyone should be doing this. It's very simple. And this actually is simple. For lack of a better word, it really is. Very quick process. As well as what it does is it ends up splitting the shrimp. And so, let's get a good one. This one looks good. So we're going to take it, split the vein, just like this. You split the shrimp, and you're going to get that nice little black vein in there. We don't want that, so let's get that out of there. Gross. It's really nice if you do this under running water. It makes it a lot easier. But what it ends up doing is you split the shrimp. And so now it's going to have a lot more surface area to be coated by the flour mixture. That's gross. And then it's also going to help maintain the size. So when you are frying them, they're not going to be, oh my god, this stuff is nasty. When you're frying them, they don't curl up as much. And so sometimes, like if you've had shrimp for po' boys, or if you just get fried shrimp at your local, like Long John Silver's or something, they're curled up. They're very, very small. And popcorn shrimp style. This is kind of where I'm going with this. And so you don't want that. This helps eliminate that. So we're going to get them clean real quick. Almost done. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the chicken. We're going to lay it out. We're going to pat it dry. And then we'll toss it in the breading. And then we'll fry it. And I want to fry my chicken first because I don't want my oil to be fishy. So if you do that, and the shrimp takes like two minutes. It's easy. So we're going to set those aside real quick and take a napkin. We're just going to dry off our cutting board. Wipe it down, get all that nasty cleaning business off. There we go. Wipe your hands. If you're working with food, especially shellfish or chicken, it is really easy to cross-contaminate. You don't want to get any type of... our oil is at temp. And I'm actually doing something really stupid. As I touched my pan and I touched the knob. So I'm going to change my gloves real quick. Just so that I can put the chicken wings in the oil. I'm going to take the thermometer out. And we're going to drop our vignettes. Very, very simple. When you're frying, you just want to place the chicken away from you. As you place it away from you, essentially what you end up doing is you account for the lack of splatter. Like if you just drop them in there, or you put them in facing you, a lot of times what can end up happening is it just splatters. Neither here nor there. It's just what it does. And nobody wants to get burned. And if you want to get burned, that's cool. Do what you gotta do. Alright. I don't know what I had that bowl for. But anyways. So we're going to re-glove up. You can find black latex gloves. I prefer those or the blue ones. These are white ones. I don't know where they came from. Standard, multi-purpose. You can get these in your pharmacy section at your local supermarket. Alright, we got that. We're going to lay these down. And so one of the things that I'm going to do differently than I did with the chicken is I'm going to season the shrimp before I put it in the flour. Don't ask me why. Couldn't tell you. Mostly, I want to say that it is better for flavor. What's going to end up happening is you want to always season your product. And I probably should have seasoned the chicken beforehand, but chicken can be a little salty as it's normally pumped full of nitrates and sodium anyway. So chicken is just naturally salty. So what we're going to do, the shrimp, we're just going to hit it just like this. Simple. We're going to toss them around. Dry them off. Let them dry. This is the same. So if you've ever fried shrimp and all of a sudden, or fish, and the breading comes off, why do you think that is? You think it's maybe because, oh, hey, I suck at frying shrimp. What did I do wrong? They didn't tell me. No, it's because it was because it was wet. The breading didn't have anywhere to stick. And so, a little bit of salt. So if you dust your shrimp in flour first, and then bread it, and then double bread it, so if you're going to double bread it, make sure you get the flour first before you drop it in the egg wash. So we're just a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, your standard stuff. If I had garlic powder, I'd throw that on there too, but I don't have any because I'm literally a horrible chef. So we're going to double check our chicken donuts. We're starting to get nice and golden, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to turn them over, leave those suckers alone. Checking on our wings in the oven, doing its thing, making a little love, getting crispy tonight. Alright, now we're going to dust them, then we're going to let them sit. They're going to kind of dry out while that cooks, and then we're going to make our sauce. So, let's get all toned. Actually, I'm just going to re-glove. Sometimes you just go through some gloves, man. It just kind of can be one of those things where, I don't know, you just do it. I'm going to throw our shrimp in there. You might think, oh man, I'm just like wasting gloves. Dude, gloves are meant to be worn. So, whatever. Alright, toss your shrimp around. You want to make sure that you have a really good flour to product ratio. A lot of times what ends up happening is there's not enough flour and it ends up not coating the product. Whatever it is you're cooking or seasoning, it just doesn't do it very well. I'll take these out. Look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful! Oh, that one's broken. Alright. Dust them. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. These creepy little motherfuckers are going to taste amazing. Alright. Dust them. Get them out of here. There we go. So just, cooking is fun. Don't overcomplicate it. What can end up happening is it seems like it's this big to-do because you have all these chefs on TV and all this food. It's supposed to taste great, blah, blah, blah. Cooking is easy. It's literally a set of following instructions, and that's it. And it really is. It really is just a matter of following instructions. So, I don't want that bowl. That bowl's gross. I'm going to get a silver bowl out. We're going to move this over. Sauce time. It's about to get saucy. But yeah, don't overcomplicate cooking. And I remember right before I went to culinary school, cooking took me an hour to make chicken, fried chicken, some pasta, and I think potatoes or roasted vegetables. It took me for an hour. It took me forever, and the kitchen was a mess. It was a nightmare. So for the sauce, I'm going to do a little bit of Tabasco, we're going to do buffalo, and we're going to do sriracha. Sriracha lives in my kitchen at all times. It is the secret weapon to all of my cooking. So, we're going to go with about 2 tablespoons of sriracha. I like the little bit of the vinegar from it, but mostly it's the garlic pepper. And then Tabasco is just really unique. Like you smell it and you know it's Tabasco. It's a little bit sweet and a little bit sour at the same time. So we're going to go with just about a teaspoon to a half a teaspoon of Tabasco. And then buffalo, because it's buffalo sauce and we're making buffalo wings. So we're gonna do about a 1/4 cup. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to sit there and throw a whole bunch of sauce in a bowl with garlic, let it cook down with butter, blah, blah. Don't make your stuff boring. Don't be a copycat. You know, do you. Do what sounds good. Go through your pantry, go through your fridge, grab some stuff out, and mix it. Hey, this sounds fun. Hey, this sounds fun. That's what cooking is all about. Like I said, it's about having fun. You do you. It's art. What do most artists do? It's literally an expression of themselves. So, you know, if you want to add some hot dogs to a ramen with some cheddar cheese and make kind of a mac and cheese style, why not? There's nothing wrong with adding cheese to ramen and turning it into mac and cheese. It's delicious. Okay, so we have a very simple sauce. You know what? I'm going to add some honey. I like to blend flavors. Where the F is my honey? Honey, honey, honey. I like to blend flavors and do all that jazz. I don't have any honey. I'm going to shoot my wife. She is going to get... I don't have any honey. I should have the whole thing there. Alright. We're going to do a little bit of liquid smoke. Oh, I know what. She ate all the damn honey with peanut butter. Oh, there it is. It was hiding behind the peanut butter the whole time. Okay. So, I'm going to do some honey. We're going to do about a tablespoon of honey. Honey with buffalo wing. Amazing. So good. And then I'm going to go out on a limb, and this is going to be kind of weird. I've never done this. I don't like playing with liquid smoke, but I have it just in case. So we're going to do like 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a splash of liquid smoke. All I want to do is I want to kind of give it a little bit of, not just smokiness, but a touch of barbecue style flavor. What it's going to end up doing is it adds another level of depth. And so as you're eating it, it gets complex. It's hot wings. It doesn't have to be complex. But I like things with really good flavor, so as I'm biting it, I get sweet, I get salty, I get spicy, I get smoky, and then it's just good. I mean, I like good food. If you don't like good food, that's fine. You don't have to make them this way. So our wings are looking good. Get a little bit of some paper towels out, a bowl. That way we can dry these. Look at them. Turn them around. Let's bring them to you. Okay, so essentially, as we're looking at it, they're going to get a nice, gorgeous golden color. Now, if I had double breaded them, then it would be a little bit different, as they would be crispier. But, can you even see this? You can't even see this. Can you see it now? I don't know. Let's look at the camera. I'm waiting for it to load. It's got some lag time. There we go. I don't know. It's heavy, so you get the point. You just kind of want to make them look good. You want them nice and golden. My temperature is legit because they're not burning. I don't have a lot of crumbs going everywhere, and which is fine. Having yum yums is cool. Nothing wrong with that. So let's see. We're going to double check on our wings in the oven. You just kind of want to make sure that they get it nice and crispy. Oh man, beautiful. Not oily. So if you'll notice, I didn't toss them in any olive oil or anything before I put them in there. Because what ends up happening is that oil's going to start to fry them, but it doesn't have anywhere else to go. So it fries and it seeps in and it just makes them super, super, super moist. It doesn't actually make them crispy. Your oven, if it's a convection oven, is just a giant air fryer. So don't buy the small one. I'm kidding, buy what you want. But it's a giant air fryer. And when you're frying with an air fryer, you have to have a nice dry product in order for it to get crispy. So if you're going to throw wings in an air fryer, don't have them wet. Otherwise, they're not going to get crispy. They're just going to remain soggy. And nobody likes soggy wings. So, we're going to check on our chicken wings. They should be good. We're going to pull them out. These things are beautiful. I don't even know if I've ever made them look so good. And we're going to take them out. We're going to let them dry. And then we will sauce them. The ones in the oven, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up taking them and I'm going to brush them with the sauce. That way I get a nice light, even coating, and then it glazes. It ends up being a nicer presentation, but at the same time it doesn't end up being so saucy that my hands are completely coated in sauce. Nobody wants that. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fry our shrimp. The shrimp is going to be no time at all, so let's go ahead and get paper towels out. These guys are good. We'll probably use the bowl to sauce those wings. Let's get out another cutting board. This cutting board is going to be for our presentation. And now I need more drinks. Next time, I'm going to take shots for every time I say the word simple. Okay, so just like the chicken, you're going to put it in just a little bit away from you. You're going to fry them up. These don't take long. They're going to crisp up really quickly. And then we'll toss them with the wing sauce. And you're done. It is not complicated. Doesn't take an arm and a leg to make buffalo shrimp. It doesn't take an arm and a leg to make buffalo wings. Nice and easy. Let those go for about 2 to 3 minutes. Put your cutting board away. Give it a quick rinse. We're going to rinse it, guys. It's a little rinsing. Alright, so you're going to rinse it. That way, when you're rinsing, it allows for all the stuck-on bits to get removed. And then you don't have to worry about dried on, caked on flour later. So, what we're going to do is now we're going to pull our wings out of the oven. Super nice and crispy, not moist. Don't you just love that word, moist? It's my favorite. Let's get us a brush. Look at our shrimp. I'm going to turn them over. That way they get evenly cooked on both sides. You would think, oh, they're not cooking on both sides. They should be cooking on both sides. But they're not. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Google it. And there's probably not actually a Google answer. They're probably telling me I'm an idiot. Okay. Take our spoon, set it aside. Take our brush. Light dipping. I'm just going to kind of go very evenly over the chicken. I don't even know. You can't even see this. I got to work on my camera angles. So you're going to go really evenly over the chicken. I got to get one of those cameras that like zooms in as I'm doing it. Otherwise, this is kind of BS. But hopefully you're entertained. That's more the point of it anyway. So hopefully I'm actually videotaping this and it's live. Because if it's not, I have done a whole lot of talking for not a lot of effort for fish. I'd have to do it all over again. Okay. So we're just going to get our tails. Boom. Boom. Beautiful. You don't have to sauce both sides. There's really not much of a point to sauce both sides. It's, you know, like I said, there's not much of a point. Okay. That's done. I'm going to get another couple of napkins because, I mean, it's fried. So, we'll sit there, turn our heat off, and our shrimp is done. It is gorgeous. Nice and curled. Perfect little C. Crispy. Not overly crispy. Not full of breading. Where it's like you get them at, you know, some restaurants where you go and it's literally nothing but breading and like an itty bitty pound of shrimp. And it's like, that's great. I love popcorn shrimp that has no shrimp and is just popcorn. So frustrating. So frustrating. But these, I left the tails on so that I can have like a little bit of a handle. So eat them. So we'll take them We lost one. It's okay. My counter's clean. Okay. I'm gonna go up. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. And I dropped another one. That's fine. Don't eat those. Okay. So, as we're looking at it, I hope this, like, I've got actual, you can hear me? Brandon, can you hear me? I got these special headphones just to make sure that when I am doing this stuff, that it ends up being, that you can hear me, and you can hear me good. Okay. Hopefully you can, because it seems like you're responding. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to let these dry. Yeah, you can eat the tails. They're crispy. It's just like having salmon skin. And so, great for you. It's ended up like being like a fishy potato chip. Nothing, you know, too out of this world. A little bit different, but whatever. Okay. Now we're going to take our sauce. We don't need the brush anymore. And we're going to hit the big bowl with the sauce. So what you want to end up doing, get everything from the mixing bowl in here. You can make your sauce in the bigger bowl. I've just wasted a bunch of bowls because apparently I like doing dishes. And you want to take, and you want to let your sauce run the rim of the bowl. You know, it's just a little rim job. It's okay. Everybody likes a good one. That way you get a much better even coating when you're tossing your wings. I'm going to throw these guys in here. Give them a quick toss. Alright. Beautiful. Look at that. Nice and beautiful. Easy. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm doing this, and the amount of sauce that he put in there doesn't seem like there's going to be enough. But with buffalo wings and shrimp, it doesn't take a lot. Like, you just need a little bit, and it goes a really long way. We're going to take our shrimpies. We're going to toss them in the sauce mixture. It's going to get rid of our nasty greasy napkins. Nasty greasy napkins. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it quick. A little bit of stirring, some shooshing. Making some noise. And they're going to dance. And they're doing a little buffalo dance. Because, you know, buffaloes dance. And you take the shrimp. And you let them out. Bang, bang, bang. Call Gordon Ramsay. Tell him to go fuck himself. Because these shrimps are on point, yo! Except for that one. That one's broke. Don't let him see that one. Or call Uncle Roger. Man, that dude's funny. Give him a call. He'll probably tell me I'm doing something wrong and I don't know how to cook because I'm not an Asian chef or whatever the fuck he is. I think he's just a comedian. But he is funny as hell. He called Gordon Ramsay a fucking wok fuckboy. Because he had 2 woks. And apparently, nobody in Britain, no British chef, has more than 1 wok. Even Uncle Roger doesn't have more than 1 wok. Because he is committed to 1 wok. I don't even have a wok. Somebody buy me a wok. Alright, check these wings out, babe. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I swear, it's almost like I should do this sucker for a living. Boom. A little double extra action on there. Line those suckers up. I said it doesn't stick. Okay, it gets a little sticky, but it's nothing, you know. Don't judge me. They're still tasty. So I would serve this with a little ranch and blue cheese and call it a day. Let's see, can you see this? Let's zoom up. So zoomies. We're zooming. We're taking it in. Is it going? Woo, so pretty. You can't even see it, but it looks good. It's nice and great. Let's eat one. Let's eat a shrimp. Oh, hot. But it's good. It's sweet. It's salty. It's crispy. And it's spicy. Fuck. That's spicy. What do you say? Excellent looking nom noms, my friend. Thank you, Brandon. just swing by. I'll get you a little plate. Like 2 minutes away. I even set a beer outside. Social distancing. It's cool. Anyways, guys. Thanks for watching. First Twitch stream for cooking. We'll get this down to where you can actually see what we're doing. Much easier. Maybe I'll just have it to where you don't actually see me. You just see the food. Who knows? Give me some feedback. Shoot me a DM. It doesn't matter. Anyways, enjoy. Have a good night. Bye, Felicias.